My story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
That's what's up. That's how you greet a real boss right there. That's how you greet a real boss right there. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? Round one. So let's hope, keep our fingers crossed here on this audio. See what happens. Let me just check it real quick. Okay. I see you don't hear the sound. Okay, it sounds low to me. All right. Hold up. So that's gonna take that out. Keep our fingers crossed here on this. All right, let me see. Can you hear me now? Damn, I still got a bad echo. Okay. I see you don't hear the sound. Okay, it sounds low to me. Turn that up. All right, well, let's see here. All right. Okay, that's up. That's up. So that's gonna take that out. Keep our fingers crossed here. What am I looking for? All right. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Turn that up. All right. Well, let's see here. All right. Okay, that's up. That's up. So that's gonna take that. So, what am I looking for? All right. All right. I may have or may have not. Okay, I can hear it. Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna turn that sound effect up. I'm gonna turn that one up. All right. I may have or may have not. Okay, I can hear that. I'm gonna turn that one up. All right. I may have or may have not. Okay, I can hear that. All right, so that would be turning off my mic, right? Is that how that works? I'm gonna turn that one up. Does that mean I can't hear you? So what if? Okay, I can hear that. All right, so that would be turning off my mic, right? Is that how that works? I'm gonna turn that one up. Does that mean I can't hear you? So what if? Okay, I can hear that. All right, so that would be turning off my mic, right? Is that how that works? Does that mean I can't hear you? So what if? Okay, I can hear that. All right, so that would be turning off my mic, right? Is that how that works? Does that mean I can't hear you? So what if? All right, so that would be turning off my mic, right? Is that how that works? They can't hear me. All right. This is fucking tricky, bro. All right, I got it. I think I got it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see how this sounds later. I'm gonna be pissed. I know it's not gonna work, man. Um, obviously, like
This is
I'm
fucking tricky, bro.
cross. Hold up. Now I can hear myself over here. I gotta turn that off. Now that's throwing me off. All right. So anyway, thank you for being patient with that right there, where we had a little bit of audio technical difficulty. Hopefully, this right here, this audio, you know, I'm testing it to see what it's gonna do here. Man, I'm trying everything, everything, everything. All right. So, fight fans, thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here of Round One Sports TV. Yo, check it out, right? You know, the fights last night, the entire card, uh, look, it is what it is. Bruce Karen had a difficult night at the office. So did Tiger Johnson. It seems like the only guys that really delivered in some of the actions or some of the moments where there was a little bit to be worried about was the Mason brothers. One of the Mason brothers was doing okay. He looked good, good form. He got caught. He got caught pretty big in the fight. Good chin. He wore it well, shook it off, went back to work. The second Mason brother scored the knockout. So right there, you know, they already got a knockout. But Tiger Johnson and the stars of this card right here, like Bruce Karen, Shushu, unfortunately, I don't think they delivered. And I'm being harsh, little critical. Okay, I understand, right? But Tiger Johnson wants a fight with Devin Haney. We all know about the altercation against Tiger Johnson and the little Haney clan and what happened. There's tons of videos circulating all over social media. So we know that there's bad blood there. In order to call out Devin Haney, my man, you needed to deliver some violence. Instead, you were in for a fight. And a lot of people were like, yo, even my co-host, Tiger Johnson's gonna wipe this dude down. Right now he can fight Devin Haney. And I was like, whoa, pump your brakes. I like a little bit of trolling. I like a little bit of capping. I do it myself often, right? But come on, bro. I told him, talk to me after the fight. After the Tiger Johnson fight. Is that not what I said on the live? When he started going off, and a lot of people in the chat were like, nah, Tiger Johnson to fight Devin right now. I said, hold up. Here at Round One Sports Talk, we from the Show Me State. You're gonna have to show us. Prove it. Prove that you're that guy, Tiger Johnson, and that you're worthy of a title shot. Now, let me tell you something right now. A lot of people, you know, like myself, I wanted to see him fight maybe Rohan Polanco, some of the other guys in the division. That's where you get like the mid-tier guys and the contenders to fight when the smoke clears type shit. You got a worthy adversary to challenge for the title. And it's just not like we're putting a guy in there and we're rushing him. And then the champion just beats him up. How many times have we seen that? You put him in too early, right? Okay. So you want to make sure that Tiger Johnson checks all the boxes right now, the eye test, the fact that he went from 140 and his power obviously translated to 147. If not, he's punching stronger now. Okay. So, but I still feel he has work to do before the boxing world jumps out of their fucking panties, right? And go, yo, put him in with fucking Devin Haney. Bro, chill out. Chill out. Listen, you might, whatever you view Devin Haney as, I'm not the hugest Devin Haney supporter or fan. Actually, I'm not really supposed to be a fan of any boxer because I'm supposed to cover boxing. You know, I have to be able to see both sides, read both sides. I'm not advocating for Tiger and I'm not advocating for Devin. I'm just telling you what I see. I'm going to tell you right now, you might consider Devin boring because that's what you were told by the Saudis. That's what you were told by Ed Hearn. That was what you were told by Frank Warren. All those guys on that side. Then they got some of our guys to say the same thing. Teofimo Lopez, uh, Tank Davis. You know, they all started calling like Devin and the Shakurs boring. But in actuality, that's the sweet science right there, what they're doing. And sometimes the sweet science can't be so, it's not always fan friendly. It depends what wave, what crowd you really have in there. And that's actually how that goes. If you got a rowdy crowd and they're drinking beer and they want blood. They're not here for the sweet science. I get it. I get it. But Devin's not boring. And he's not pillow fisted. I thought that Devin Haney reminded the world that he can crack when he took big time power puncher Brian Norman Jr. and he put him on his ass. Okay, I can agree. I can already hear you guys in the chat. Oh, but Edwin, he didn't finish him. Edwin, okay, the the killer instinct, that ferociousness. Uh, Devin looks like a deer in the headlights. I'm being honest. I mean, if I speak good for him, of course, I'm also going to have to point out some things that are just true. And that's where, like me covering boxing, I get the short end of the stick. 'Cause you think I'm talking as a fan or as a hater, and I'm not. I'm trying to be an analytic guy, a numbers guy, a historian. I'm not that just yet. Yeah, I know that, right? But that's what I'm pursuing. I'm trying to get better, right? And my opinion is, look, Devin doesn't have that killer instinct anymore because of the tragedy with Ryan Garcia. He can deny it all he wants. He can try to convince himself that's not so. But even in his biggest victory of late, you can still see a changed fighter in Devin Haney. He's no longer like when he had you hurt, he was going in for the kill. He ain't doing that shit. But the Regis Progress fight was before the Ryan fight. And he fought cautious in the Regis Progress. But I always felt like it's because he did feel Regis's power. He was so far on the scorecard when he put Regis down, he just felt like I'm doing good enough whooping your ass. Why step into the fire and give you an opportunity of maybe scoring a Hail Mary? So Devin played it safe and he boxed from the outside, boxed beautifully, and he beat the shit out of Regis. Yo, Regis came out that fight. He had all kinds of fucking hickeys. It looked like girls were kissing him, right? He had all kinds of lumps. So he did kind of fight it a little cautious then. But the Ryan, especially look, there's a lot of ways to look at what happened to Devin. There's a lot of different ways to tell you the truth, right? And if I sat here and I was to break it down, right, they could have caught Devin Haney going through a transition, meaning he had already went to a couple wars with like Loma, and he went through a couple wars with George Camboza out there and stuff like that, and um he could have been trying to tweak his style in the Regis fight, Devin, learning how to hit without being hit. And just like Sebastian Fundora learning how to fight long, they may or may not come a time in a boxer's career where they start to change their fighting style. And in doing so, they get demolished. Then what happens is mentally, the fighter starts to doubt what they were doing and they kind of forget who they were. They kind of go through an identity crisis because they're like, man, if I thought I was the man, I got starched. I must not be him. So a lot of things, I think, in an athlete, a lot of things go on up there, bro. A lot. And I feel that Devin, you know, he's human. Devin is not a robot. He has fears, doubts, insecurity. Even though he's a fighter and a warrior, I don't know if you ever think about this, but he has feelings too. Devin can be fucked with up here. And I think it might have caught him in an interesting time. He was going through that weird stage where, you think you're a man, but you're not. Then you realize you get your man strength and you get that final piece and you start to stand up straighter, you know what I mean? You start to mature more. Your yeses become your yeses and your no's become your no's type shit. And you're going through this phase in your life as a fighter anyway. I think all fighters, I can speak for all fighters when I say there's a certain point, I think, in every man's life, well, let me speak for myself. You feel invincible. You really do. And when something like that happens, and then you find out Ryan was on the juice, he was on the serum, right? You got a lot of soul searching to do. You doubted yourself for a few days, then you're trying to like say, no, this is why it happened. And you're trying to convince yourself and Devin just going through athlete shit. At the end of the day, it's just like any batter that was a home run king and all of a sudden he's striking out and they send him to a fucking sports therapist. Athletes go through real shit. And I just think that Devin, he's a lot better than what you guys think he is. He really is. And you guys keep putting these guys in front of him, you're actually giving Devin uh, a free ride to the top because most of you guys knew even Brian Norman Jr. was good, but he was still green. He was fortunate to be a champion, and you guys talked that man up to fight Devin Haney. You really thought Devin Haney he was going to be the one to do the job, and Devin Haney showed him there's levels to this. There's levels to this, and I'm on a different level, and he shut him down. I just saw Brian Norman Jr.'s last fight with Keyshawn Davis card. I like the way he looked, Brian Norman Jr. We got to see more of that, though. I want to see Ronnie Shields. It's just he's an amazing coach. He got a lot of good fighters down there. Got the Charlo, he got Errol Spence Jr. He whipped them into shape. And Malecki. He's got a pretty decent stable of fighters right now. Ronnie Shields. So, um, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that main event, Abdullah Mason versus Alberto Bell, right? Let me tell you something, right? I've you know, the fight card wasn't that lackluster. They kind of like didn't even keep the energy going into the main event. I didn't even keep track of the Notre Dame's world title. It was just, I was trying to like keep us engaged in the fight. I get it. I get it. I know I'm already gonna hear the fans and some people say, "Yo, round one, you bugging. That card sucked." Like, come on, guys. Am I here to put down boxing or to promote it? Come on, man. Give me a break. You know you're gonna hear me say some shit and you're gonna be like, round one, you're full of it. You know that shit sucked. Listen, okay. Look, but chill out. I I I gotta keep us engaged in boxing, bro. This is why I do this. You know what I mean? But the main event delivered. I want to talk about this main event. There a lot of shit happened, and a lot of people had a lot to say. Hey, yo, all facts, where you at? Where's all facts at? I need to talk to my El Mano. Yo, hey, yo, if your boy is in the building and he's watching this, yo, go call your boy. I need to talk to all facts about a couple things he done said on a couple shorts. Just need to know where the hell is he getting this from? Hi, all facts. We need to talk boxing. I always love talking boxing. You know what I mean? Listen, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna throw the linko in the chat earlier. Vamos a ponerle esto aquí. Espérate, espérate un momentito. There we go. Esta mierda no me estaba trabajando. It is not working. But anyway, we'll keep the show going on. Listen, let's talk about it. Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell. I watched the fight, and after like 7 rounds, they told me that they had Abdullah Mason losing the fight. I'm sitting there the entire fight, watching 7 rounds go by, and not one time during those 7 rounds, I felt like Abdullah was in any danger of losing. I didn't really see him getting outclassed. Maybe because the action was so on their level that it was for me, it was really I didn't I wasn't alarmed going past in the seventh, like saying, yo, I think Abdullah's down. No, apparently Chris Mike said Albert Bell won the first 7 straight. Now, when they pulled that up, that's when I got alarmed. Because now, right there, I was like, wait a minute. I didn't feel like Albert Bell won every round. I really didn't. I know I got to go back and watch that fight again. But okay, I'm cool with that. So I said on the live. So right now, according to what you guys are saying, Albert Bell already won the fight if he can get this to the 12th round. The fight is his. According to you guys, he's got 7 rounds, right? Okay. Now I got receipts. I acknowledge you guys when they said that. In the moment, you can go back and watch my live, right? Okay. So I come out and I'm like, all right. So now I'm paying attention. And I'm like fixed in. I'm calling the fight. I'm calling what they're doing. Then I see Abdullah win the next round, the next round, the next round, and the next round. And there was no doubt in my mind he won those next 4 rounds. Right? Okay. So here we are in the 11th. wins the next 4 rounds. We walk into the 12th and final round. Right? Okay. At that point, I think would Abdullah Mason's father go back watch the fight? He grabs his son and he starts talking to him in his ear. I think he might have. This is me spitballing, hypothetically. I don't know what he said to him. Could have just told him, "Son, I love you. Do your best." I don't know what he said, but I would like to think that he told his son, prepare to wake up tomorrow morning, not the champion. As they're saying right now behind the scenes, you're losing this fight. Unless you do something right now, son, you will no longer be world champion. I don't know what he said to that young man, and I made that part right there up, but I would like to believe he said something to that effect to young Mason, the father. As you can see, he grabbed him, and whatever he said, he wanted it to be between him, father, and son. And he wanted his son to know whatever he said. Whatever he said to young Mason, that man came out of that corner. Oh, man, listen, like the Phoenix. Okay? And can we say comeback? Can we say comeback? Right? Because if you can admit that he was down in the fight going into the 12th round and then he won the fight, wouldn't that be considered a comeback? Did anybody congratulate Abdullah Mason for the comeback? You can acknowledge he was down on the fight, but you won't acknowledge the comeback. What? On top of that, then let's just go by the scoring. Let's just break it down by the scoring. If in the 12th round it was 7-4 in the 12th, because the 12th is not done yet, he drops Albert Bell in the first 3 seconds of the round. By time 25 seconds had passed, Albert Bell was on the floor twice. 2 knockdown score. That's a 7-10 round. Not an 8-10. It's going to go to a 7-10 round. You still have roughly, I'm spitballing, I would say he had a little more, but I'm just going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the round. So what are you saying? After being knocked down twice within 25 seconds of each other, right? He was going to survive the rest of the round? That's what you're saying. Would he have gone down again in the round? The 7-10 round puts him over for the victory. If they gave him a 7-10 round, if he makes it out that round, besides the ass whooping Abdullah was going to give him, the remaining of the round, let's just say he survives, right? Albert Bell was so gassed, so out of it, that the first punch that Abdullah threw, he just saw it. He couldn't even move out the way. He's not going to get stronger, and Abdullah just knocked you down twice. So for argument's sake, I'm going to say he makes it out the round. He makes it out that round, he loses the fight. There's no draw. One knockdown, he makes it out the round, draw. You got yourself a draw right there. Right? 2 knockdowns and the round. Abdullah wins. He clearly won the last 4. Then listen, I don't think anybody can argue that. I'll give you the 7. I'll give you the 7, but he got called too early. Albert Bell got called way too early. Twice. You had over 2 minutes. That would have been an eternity. A fuck, yo, that you ever pop some popcorn or something in the microwave and press 2 minutes? Go ahead. Do a couple circles in that kitchen. You turn around, that shit is still on 1 minute and 40 seconds. From 2 minutes. You're like, damn. Listen. Whoa. Right? Listen, look, he would have never made it out that round. There was no way Albert Bell was making out that round if the referee would have allowed him to get up and continue. He would have just put him down again. Mason was on a fucking mission. He was punching strong. I went back and I saw the closing round, and I heard the commentator, and he was saying, "Yo, in the 12, I don't care how tired you are. In the 12th round, you're gonna get a burst of energy, and boom, and down he goes." And he said it happened to Mason. He got the burst. All facts come get your ass up here. Get up here, all facts. We need to talk about this shit. This fight right here. This fight right here. Yo, all facts. How you gonna say that it was gonna be a draw? That was a push. What was a push? Okay, go back and watch the fight, right? I agree to a certain extent. When he punched him, when he punched him, he put his hands like this, but Albert Bell's momentum was still going forward. Yes, it would have seemed like he pushed him down. The problem is in the rule structure of boxing. If you're hit by a shot in the same momentum, like you can't. If you get hit by a shot and you do like 2 boxing moves and then I like push you, no. If you do a move and I trip you, no. But if I hit you and you try to disguise it because you went, what happened was I hit you, you were going down, and I just put my hands like that and went with it. That's why one of the commentators in the fight said, no, that's a knockdown. The professional boxer, you know what I'm saying, said, no, that is a knockdown, Chris Igeria. You know what I'm saying? So it was an official knockdown. If it wasn't a knockdown, all facts, let's say it was a push, like you claim, let's say it was a push, then why did this referee read signs saying otherwise? If he got pushed, he would have had his senses. The referee wouldn't have saw his eyes roll back in the back of his head. You see what I'm saying? The only thing that Albert Bell did, he put on a great acting performance. And the Oscar goes to, right? He was like, no, finish. And Albert Bell jumped up. No, I want to continue. I want to fight. Oh shit, look at that performance. Here you go, Oscar. Because you're acting right now. You are acting. Bro, the young man, the evidence is the evidence. The first punch, and I mean Abdullah Mason cocked back on it. He literally showed them, I'm coming to punch you. And you couldn't get out the way? You were so fatigued that you literally watched the punch coming. And I've been there before. I know what that's like. You can see everything the guy's doing. You just couldn't move out the way. Yeah, that's called exhaustion. Bro, you were down on the floor in 3 seconds of the round. 3 seconds. All facts is in the building. This is my motherfucking dude. I want you guys to welcome All Facts. I see the super chat. My man, All Facts is in the bill. We got a lot to catch up to. Me and All Facts. Hold up. Okay, All Facts, you gonna stick with your picture? Okay, because if you were gonna show your face, I would have put you up on a big Tron. But All Facts,
Yeah.
come on, bro. Come on, man. Talk to
What's
me.
up?
What's up, baby?
That
Yep.
thing was crazy last night, man. You
It was
know?
the best action we got in the card.
Yeah, yes, it was. Yes, it was. You know,
Yeah, I
I
was
thought
falling asleep there.
I felt asleep on the shoo fight, man. I felt asleep, man. I got
Mm-hmm.
back up, synced it in the AM, but I was up for the Albert Bell and Abdullah fight. No, I was kind of nervous. I seen the first round come out. Abdullah looked sharp in the inside, but we seen. I watched Albert Bell game plan. 2-1s, keep him on
Mm-hmm.
the outside. The weird thing about Albert Bell, I didn't see him switch. I was kind of confused. I'm like, yo, he
Okay.
ain't switched the whole fight.
All right.
But
Yeah, I kind of lost you. Lost you on audio. I don't know if you're going underneath or got a phone call, but I'm gonna keep the show going. I'm gonna answer one of your questions here. Okay. You said you didn't see Albert Bell switch. Okay, I see that you're trying to come in again. So I'm gonna take that one down and I'm gonna bring you up here. What's up? All facts.
yeah, I don't know. My
I,
jaw
I
just
got
felt.
you.
I don't know why.
Wow. So okay, I heard what you said that you didn't see him switch in the fight. And that what was else you said? The first thing I forgot what it was.
I seen that dude adjust. I seen him
You see,
adjust.
adjust. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
here's what I when I was calling the fight, this is what I picked up on. I picked up on every time Abdullah Mason was starting to move or do subtle movement or lateral movement, Albert Bell struggled with that. When I
Mm-hmm.
felt that Albert Bell was doing for the first 7 rounds, he was fighting off the back foot. He was
Yes,
making Abdullah come to him. So
he was.
Abdullah had to get him out of that shell. He had to get him to get off that back foot. So what he had to do was entice him. Abdullah started doing angles, but I was getting frustrated because I thought he was picking up on it, but and then he would just completely stop. Like in the first round and second, Abdullah went downstairs to the body early. He came throwing body shots, and then he stopped. He stopped 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 7. He was no longer throwing body punches, and he started fighting Albert Bell's fight. And I was getting frustrated watching it because I'm yelling and I'm like, "Yo, you're fighting Albert Bell's fight, Abdullah." So and then Abdullah made the adjustment, and I felt like he could have did it a little better, more subtle movement to the left and right, trick him, get him to throw those because Albert was awkward when Abdullah was moving, but when Abdullah was in front of him, that straight right was money. He was hitting
Yes,
him because the right hand is the left guy, the southpaw killer. So he was
yes.
throwing that with conviction straight down. But when Abdullah started moving, he couldn't find them. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought that Abdullah was gonna pick up on it, but he really didn't. It was like he was guessing. I don't know. I mean, that's being young, ain't it? In boxing, that's you learn
Yeah,
from that, right? He's gonna go
yeah,
back and
you
learn
do.
from it. So
Yes,
I felt that when Chris Maddox on my live said he threw up the unofficial scorecard. Man, that shocked me. That Abdullah was down 7-0.
yeah, that
Straight
was crazy.
7-0. That's what Chris Maddox, the unofficial card, said 7-0. That's when I started paying attention. I was like, yo, fams, everybody, yo, chill out. According to what they're saying, this guy already won the fight. All he has to
Yeah,
do is make it to the 12th round. So, and
yep,
then, honestly, can you agree or not agree? I saw Abdullah Mason win the next 4 rounds consecutive. I didn't think it was going to be enough. But here we are and closing up the 11th. And I said to myself, well, I just watched Abdullah Mason win the last 4 rounds. So here we go. The 12th round kicks off. All facts. Brother, you knocked him down within 3 seconds. That's a 10-8 round. So
yes,
at the 10-8 round point right there, that's 2 rounds. That
Mm-hmm.
means that means we're basically tied because I'm gonna get
No.
2 points. I'm gonna get the round two. So
Yep.
we might that's a draw right there. Then
Oh.
when he went down the second time that questionable one where he hit him and he had his hands kind of like that,
Uh-huh.
one guy felt it was a push. The boxer that was commentating, he felt it was a knockdown because it was in the same boxing motion. And I can agree with that. And
Uh-huh.
there's been, times like that.
And you
So okay,
falling
we're
and you really good.
yeah. Now let's get to the hot topic. Was it an early stoppage? Was it a right stoppage? Yo, all facts. Let me check this out. My man was deep in enemy territory. He still had over 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in that round. You've already been knocked down 2 times. You couldn't even have the energy to stop the first punch he threw. What
Mm-hmm.
makes you think he was going to get stronger and he was going to survive the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds? And if on the best side of the scenario, he does, do you really think Abdullah doesn't put him down at least one more time?
Could have put him down one more time.
Okay. And if he does that, brother Abdullah wins the fight.
Yeah, could have
He
put him
he
down one more
gave
time.
this he gave this fight up, if you ask me. My opinion, all facts.
Yeah, yeah,
He dropped the ball in the 12th round.
I
Bad.
figured he dropped the ball like once because he said it himself. Like once, I think Abdullah broke his nose. It was like in the
Yep.
eighth, ninth round,
Really?
and
He
he
broke
started
his
breathing
nose?
heavy out of his
That's
mouth.
true?
Yeah, he started breathing out of his mouth. Well, from there,
No
Abdullah took
wonder.
he took over, you know, and
Yeah, I didn't know that.
he took him to the deep waters. You know, it's a
Yeah.
12 round fight. This is what Abdullah's second fight at 12 rounds. This is Albert Bell first fight at 12. And I ain't never seen Albert Bell in a 10 round fight, you know. Um, but it shows that, your engine, your gas tank,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you started to see him fade in those late rounds. But when Albert Bell said Abdullah broke his nose and he started breathing heavy out the mouth, you know what time it was. Like in the first round, I had Abdullah winning the first round. Some people gave it to Albert Bell.
I had
Um,
Abdullah winning the first.
yeah, because he looked sharp. He came out sharp, but his
I
inside
had him
game was
winning the first.
crazy. His inside game was crazy. It just was that right. But he adjusted. He picked up on his steam and he understand. Like, listen, man, I'm down on some Bud Crawford situation. I'm down on the cards. I got to come out here and make this thing happen. The stoppage was crazy. Mark Nelson. We watched what he did with Pacquiao and Horn.
We know. Yes.
But it is what it is, man. We got fireworks yesterday. The card was kind of, you feel me? But we got fireworks from the prelims to the main event. The Mason brothers showed up, but it was a good scrap. It was a great scrap. Albert Bell, hopefully you get another title defense. It took you 13 years to get it, but we understand. But it was a fight. I liked it to fight, And
Yo,
Abdullah got,
can I
go
ask
ahead.
you a question? Can I ask you a question, old facts, man? Listen, man. You don't find it a bit alarming that Albert Bell hasn't been in, you can't remember him in 10 round fights, let alone 12. He's
Yeah.
33 years old and he got his first title fight, but he's undefeated. But he's
Mm-hmm.
never, he's in 8 round, 6 round fights. Talk
Yeah.
about a guy. Listen, okay. I try to articulate this the best way I know how. And the way I see Albert Bell is sometimes you see a guy and he's given God given talent or he has
Yeah.
great athletic ability and he can flow in boxing. What I describe of Albert Bell is the definition of a man truly becoming a boxer. He
Mm-hmm.
made himself into a boxer. He was never given God given talent, great athletic ability. He got where he is, fight by fight, pace by pace, and he was never truly supposed to like be this. So when I see him, I think his story is like when I read he doesn't have any like special effects or anything that screams out to you that he was supposed to do this or he was gifted. This was
Yes.
just a journey he chose as a man. And I can see that. I can see the difference between God given talent. So I
Mm-hmm.
commend him for being that. But I'm just asking you, don't you think it's a little like 33? Wow, like you can't, and you admit it, you can't even remember him being in 10-round fights. Do you think that that hurts the fighter, or that
Yes.
he should have been? Why you think Top Rank let him go? They kept offering him fight after fight, fight after fight. He was just saying he wasn't ready for those guys. He wanted to stay in 6-round fights, 8-round fights. Bob Arum is trying to put him in these, the next step. He
Yeah.
wasn't ready. So,
You
but I'm
know.
not going to say he didn't look good. And sometimes you got to walk at your own pace. He wasn't ready. And he knew that. So, congratulations to him for
Yeah.
walking, not running. Okay. Not all of us are blessed with these abilities. Some of this shit, and it's beautiful when I see it, and I says, man, let me tell you something. Everybody claims to get it out the mud. Albert Bell is the definition of getting it out the mud.
Yes, he
He
is.
he 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 was not supposed to be a fighter right here on this stage with
Yeah.
those abilities. That's just
And you know
grinding,
what?
grinding. Yep.
I agree with you, Evan. I agree with you. He he bit too much. He can chew. You know, whatever you think about sparring, that's what you think about sparring. You feel me? And in his mind, he probably know because I heard, I had it the other way around. When they sparred, I came out, put my foot in my mouth, and my man, shout out OTB boxing, Ohio boxing, the Ohio runs boxing. He was like, nah, it was the other way around. They sparred 4 or 5 times. Albert Bell always got the best of him. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna correct that. But it's like,
Hmm.
you chasing Shakur at 130. Supposedly, that's the reason why Shakur moved up to 135. But like you said, they offering you with these fights and you're not getting these fights. You don't want these fights. You're turning them down. The last time I seen them in the fight was like a 6-round fight, a 6-rounder. And you want
Mm,
the dip, but the level of competition you got is not amongst the C, B, and A elite level competition. You still fighting D level competition, D level elite competition that's minus, and you getting them out of there. But only thing was good that I seen in the flare was, he was a switch hitter. And watching this fight is like the power of Abdullah had him struck like, yo, if I switch, he might can catch me because he know of my moves when we sparred, when I turned southpaw, you know.
right.
But it
Hold.
just Abdullah took him to them deep waters and drowned him.
Yeah, he did. Hey, yo, my man, are you gonna follow me everywhere and comment on my videos? You gotta go everywhere I go and always, huh? You just, but you know what, man? Today I'm gonna win you over, bro. I'm gonna win you over today. That's my assignment, to win you over as a fan, because you keep coming around, dropping these comments, so I know you like being here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And listen, if if I'm wrong, right, and you got a better insight, I'm not a hard man to approach. I'm not disrespectful. I don't have to be, embarrass you on my show. I don't have to yell at you or crash out. I'm also a bit of a learner. So if you would like, sir, I'll drop the link in the chat. All Facts will be up here with us too, or whatever. And we could talk boxing, because I tell you what, if you see any other scenario of what took place or anything that I broke down, I'll get my pad and my pen out, and I'll write and I'll take notes. And you can bless us with your boxing insight. Because, brother, to tell you the truth, when I call boxing, none of us have a crystal ball. So it's impossible. We're all just really giving our opinion. And after the fight, the only thing that I can say is what I saw, what actually took place. We can have a different views of opinion, right? Which I'm going to get to All Facts now, right now, because I got to ask him, what'd you think about the Xander fight? Boots, congratulations on the
yeah.
dub. Philly in the building. I
Yeah,
we gotta give Philly they love. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. What is the no wait.
Job well done.
Duran Boots Ennis is a motherfucking beast. Listen, my man, yo, I was there. New York City, bro.
I'm paying attention. I
Spanish
was seeing the lights. I seen you. I see you,
man.
Ed.
You see me? I was out there, me and my brother, my little brother, and his
Yeah,
stepfather, and we shared a moment, a memory that was real cool. My brother came out with me,
that's what's
met
up.
showbiz, met a couple of guys, got Xander's autograph. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
Got the autograph. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
and got a few videos with Jerron Boots Ennis. We got to see him. My brother was a little upset though. I gotta admit. He said, "Damn, E, Xander's in the crowd signing autographs, gloves and shit. Fucking Jerron Boots Ennis just went stage left real quick, and he went right into his car and he left. He didn't sign too much of nothing, and he just took off." And my brother felt like that was a bit arrogant. And I couldn't help but notice two or three people that were like right there. They were like mumbling the same sentiment. So I had to stop my brother right there. I had to stop my brother. I left you one on the table. Yeah. Okay. I had to stop my brother right there. And I had to tell my brother, I said, yo, check it out, right? But you got to take in consideration, it's not that Jerron Boots Ennis was being a dick or an asshole. You're dealing with a man that's just cut weight. He's miserable. He wants to get in the car, start drinking his liquids, eating, and start to feel better. He's actually on stage running on E, and they want these guys to do all this fucking press conference the
yep.
same day they just cut weight. Yo, Jerron Boots might have gave a little too much, I told my brother, and he's actually standing there faking it. Like all he wants to do is just be like, what the fuck? Like, like empty out. So he's just like moving through the crowd. I've been there before. And you gotta like fake it in those moments, but you want out. You don't want to stand there, sign. This is not the time. Like, I'm hurting right now. So I told my brother, and I'm just telling the rest of the fans that if anybody else felt that way, I saw it a different way. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna be an asshole and hide this from you guys. I could be like, man, fuck it. Let somebody else explain it for Jerron Boots Ennis. I don't gotta explain that shit. I wasn't on his side.
yeah. Cutting weight
But
is real, man.
me knowing about this and trying to keep it as best as I can, I gotta speak up for Jerron Boots Ennis. And that weight cutting shit is real.
It's
So I
real.
don't want the fans to like be like, man, he was an asshole. No, he wasn't. The man was miserable, and I could see it in his face. I could see it.
Yeah,
So look, like I said, I don't really hold this shit personal. If I saw something for the man, I'm gonna speak on it. That's it. And as far as the fight, man, I had a wonderful night. Everything was peaceful. Everything was peaceful until the knockout. Until the knockdown. The first knockdown. Until the first knockdown. Hey yo, the brothers show we would have did the same thing. Okay, we would have did the
yeah.
same. But you know how the build up and everybody's anxious and everybody wants to be like, my guy's gonna fuck up your. It was like quietly going through the crowd. My guy's gonna fuck up your guy. But as soon as the first knockdown was scored, bro, the finger pointing. I told you so.
Yeah.
Yes, and you know how the brothers do it, right? All
Mm-hmm.
facts, right? They're not just doing it just like regular people. No,
Yeah,
they're like this. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? They high fiving like this. They going down low like this. You know what I'm saying? They doing spins and shit, making it like extra cool and shit.
That,
You know how they was doing.
that was
But
card of the year to me.
listen, it
Over
was
that
like
card.
knockout
Yeah,
after knockout after
yes.
knockout, and then one decision and then knockout. Because the Yuri and Jahai Tucker went the distance. But every other
Mm-hmm.
fight on the card that I can remember, it was just like boom, knockout, boom. Yo, watching Ben Whitaker live. Okay, I see
How
you.
was it watching him live?
Yo, he's a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah,
He's a lot faster, but he hasn't shown me nothing. He hasn't shown me he corrected the mistake because he can't fight going to the right. Ben Witter never could fight going to the right.
I hear you.
So I didn't see that Popeye put him in that situation where that I could say, okay, you corrected that. So I didn't see that. But I did get to see the power and the speed on full display. Shout out to Popeye. That's my dude and shit. He from Worcester and shit. He came up short. He lost. I felt like he got caught early, cold in the
Yeah.
fight. But if any stoppage, which bullshit, that was
It was
that
that one.
Popeye stoppage.
It was that one. I agree with you. That too.
Bro,
It was too
he
early.
wasn't dazed. He wasn't wobbling. Where did the referee see evidence of concern?
I ain't
Bro, you
seen
let
it.
fights go with guys' eyes closed shut.
Yes.
You mean to tell me when okay, for instance, when Navarrete was fighting homeboy, what was his name? The number one contender there, his name is eluding me.
Well,
Remember his eye,
it ain't
his
like it was
his
Ricardo.
eye was completely closed.
The guy name. I know who you talking about too.
Yeah, he was the number one
It was his
for Navarrete's belt. He
Yeah,
had no, he
mandatory.
that was actually he was a champion too. That was a unification. Navarrete walked off with his belt,
It was
bro.
Nunez. What?
Nunez, that right there,
Yeah,
yo, his eye was completely closed, and they let that fight keep going. What the fuck was wrong with Popeye,
nothing. Nothing.
bro? Them Brits, they protecting that man, and there's a side of me that are like, I think they're lying to you, Ben Whitaker, but there's another side of me that can't help but to notice he is actually getting better. Like he stopped all that fucking, you know, horsing around type shit, and he's starting to box under like Ronnie Shields and shit, and Ed Hearn got him now for the second fight. But I gotta be real with you, bro. Like
You got
watching
to
him,
see. Yeah.
watching him, yo, I didn't think he was that fast, like that fast. Yo, I was watching it, right? I'm sitting there like this watching it, and I could look. I'm watching, looking right at Popeye, right? Because this is the Worcester fight. I'm like, come on, Popeye. No sooner that I was like, come on, Popeye, he was down.
Dang.
I was like, fuck, like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
And that's all I remember, man. And them $34 drinks were going down. You know what I'm saying? They were going down to $34, bro.
Dang. He
Listen,
was
listen.
killing
I was about to take off the chain right there and be like, yo, wait this up. Let me
him. How
E-
Emiliano looked in person.
Emiliano looked great. I was starstruck by his dad, to tell
Okay.
you the truth. Fernando Vargas. He's
No, I
my
know.
era, man.
Yeah.
You gotta understand that I grew up watching guys like that. You understand? There was a point in time that Fernando Vargas was a real threat, bro.
He was.
And when he went to fight our Puerto Rican guy and Felix Trinidad, I was nervous. I knew who Fernando Vargas was. He was like this young lion, fucking
He was.
destroying motherfuckers. And when I saw him, like, you want to know one of the coolest moments, because I recognized this. I don't know, nobody else probably recognized it, but I did. When Fernando Vargas came out with his son Emiliano El General, they came out through the doors, right? And I truly think that, you know, the the gods, the angels were with me, because mind you, I went here with no credentials. I asked for help. I reached out and was like, yo, can you help me with credentials? Nobody helped me with credentials. I missed the deadline. So I went there as a fan. So I couldn't get in with the media.
Yes.
So I just went walking around, and I walked all the way on the side of the building. I was trying to sneak in, actually. That's what I was doing. I was, scoping out the area. I'm being honest. If I can hop in, get in, I'm in.
Yeah. You already.
So I'm ready. Yo, listen, I'm trying to take round one to the top. So
Yeah.
I got to the side of this thing, bro, and I really got lucky. No sooner that I hit the side of the fucking thing, there was like nobody next to me over there. There's like 4 or 5 people. They opened the door and the first boxer started walking. Yo, I ran right into them right there. I was the first person
Wow.
for every boxer. Bing, bing, bing. Yo,
Fire.
it was like luck. I was like,
Fire.
"Ah." I was like, yeah. Yo, I shook everybody's hand. So when Vargas and his dad came out, I was like, oh shit, that's Fernando Vargas. And I said that out loud. Like I was thinking it, but I actually
Yeah.
said it. And I said, yo, Fernando, bro, it would be an honor if I could shake your hand. And he he was like next to his son. Like he was like, look, he looked at us. He didn't move. Yo, his son nudged him. And you could see the smile on 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 the son's face,
That's
on
what's up.
Emiliano's. And he was like, yo, dad, they're asking for you.
That's
Go,
what's up.
go. Like, leave me here. I'm fine. Like he wanted to show his son
Yeah.
that no, I'm with you. But the
Yes.
son was like, yo, no, dad, vete, vete, vete. And
Mm.
he came to us and shit. And I was like, yo, for dad, yo, I shook his hand, I took a video with him, took a picture, and then his son came over. When I saw him, when as a fighter, we have this habit of sizing each other up.
Yeah.
It's just that's what we do. I do it all the time. I size
Yeah.
everybody up. So when the son came over, quickly sized him up. I was like, boom, 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 like that. Looked at him, looked at his cheekbones, looked at his face, everything you do as a fighter. And I was like, he looks ready. He looks ready. Same thing with Jesus Juanita Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and I was like, oh shit, he looked ready. I saw his father out in the hallway, Juanita. I talked
Yeah.
to his dad. I talked to a few fighters that the female champion too, Kayla Mayer. I ran
Yeah.
into her. Yo, she's tall as shit. Yo, she made me feel short, bro.
Yeah.
She's
I
like
ain't
six
know she
feet
was that.
tall.
Dang, I ain't know she was that tall.
No, bro, I'm 5'9". I'm 5'8" and a half, actually, like 5'9" on a tall day. And I was feeling tall that day, right? Um, I ran into Broadway Joel and
Okay.
what's his name? Punch Drunk, right?
Yeah,
So
I seen that John. I think you posted it. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. I
Facebook
was
or
fucking with
something.
him like front line. Look, he's not AI, right?
Yeah, I seen
So yo, I was like, you fucking with them and said, them Dominican dudes, they tall. Broadway Joel is 6'2",
it.
and Punch Drunk is 6'1".
Dang,
And like, and I know these kind of heights and shit because like I grew up with my boy Gerald. He's 6'6". Willie Watson 6'3". Adam was 6'1". Jack was 6 feet. Like that. Like we always grew up. So I kind of like been around these dudes my entire life like this. So when I meet people like this, I know like they size and shit. I can look at you and be like, okay. But Michaela Mayer, man, I was looking at her feet like if she was looking wearing high heels. Bro, she had flats on. She had flats on. And I was looking up at her like this. I was like, oh shit. I was like, no wonder Clarissa Shields don't want to fight you.
when you was at the weigh-in, right?
Yes,
Did Xander face look this sucked in? Because to
100.
me, I thought his face was sucked in. I mean,
I thought he gave too much when he came in with the white suit. Not the day of the weigh-in, like the morning of the weigh. The
I know what you're
remember, you
talking
got to remember, they made weight at 9 o'clock that morning. By the
Yeah,
time we saw them, that weight was already made. They're starting the process of rejuvenation. In that process, you're gonna get your first bit of water, your first bit of food, and you're gonna get that first adrenaline dump. Then you're gonna be up there in the press conferences, and what you're gonna see are two fighters. You like they're trying to act tough, but all you really got to do is just go like that with your finger, and they'll fall over.
yeah.
Neither of them got strength at that point. They just trying to like look tough. You know what I'm saying? But they're both weak. Um, and Xander, he looked bad. the
With the
day
drink,
before the weigh-in,
yes,
like
he did.
really bad. Like he looked like crackhead on Main Street bad. And
I said it.
the prop the problem was, bro, less than 30 days from that day, if we do our math and our homework, I remember Jerron Boots Ennis was fat shaming you.
Yeah,
He said you're in a fat camp. You went from a fat camp shame to looking like a crackhead the day before the fight.
he did.
Brother, I don't think you could take the punches, and I think that had to do with something with the effect of why you went down.
Yep.
You
And
know,
you come
you know
heavy.
this like I know this. We're both fighters. We both box in one way or another, studied boxing, know enough about boxing. But we know when you cut weight, the first organ to release all its water is the human brain. And it's the
Mm-hmm.
last organ to fill up. So every fighter goes into every fight a bit weight drained, like a bit dehydrated. You know, they try their best in 36-hour window to do it, but it's not always a science. Not everybody gets all the liquids back into their body. They're starting to look good, but that water the skin took, not your
Yes.
brain. So I don't think that Xander could no longer make this weight. When someone asked me all facts, they said to me, round one, you think they should do the rematch? And I said, brother, in every situation in my life, I view every situation the same. Like if I was playing the board game Clue, look for the
Yeah.
clues, right? I I got Jerron Boots Ennis beating the shit out of Xander in New York City with a punching glove for the win. That's what happened. Okay, after the fight, you got Xander read the clues. How do you know he's not going to do the rematch? Why? Didn't Xander say after the fight, hey, Jerron Boots Ennis, now you're the man at 154. Go
He
get the
did.
rest of the belts.
He did.
Meaning he's giving him the nod because he's leaving.
Yep.
If he was going to participate at 154, you wouldn't say he's the best because you're still there.
And you
What are you
got
going
your
to go
music.
back to 154 and hide
Mm-hmm.
and grant him to be the best?
You
Just
think he you think Xander should move to 60 or 68?
60. Try 60 first. Jenner Beck is a big challenge. Come on, all facts.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Janet Beck might still be suspended till like the end of the year by the time
I
Xander come back.
know, but you got the vacant belt. Then you
That's what
got
I'm
the
saying.
Carlos Adames situation where it's rumored that he's going to 168, but they still got him for the champion at 160. And Carlos Adames has been struggling to make 160.
Yes, he is.
Struggling. We know that he's a wounded duck. If he tries to make that weight and Xander, he's going to take him apart. So, and then Lara, for whatever he lost in age, he gained in experience.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
They stay away from him.
He's
I,
dangerous for Xander. But Xander can stay on the outlaw side and make Laura look bad. Where Laura's gonna be most dangerous is in the counters and on the inside. He knows how to be patient. He knows timing,
yeah.
distance management. Laura, he's a very crafty, seasoned fighter. Those kind of fighters are very, very dangerous for
Mm-hmm.
Xander. But, but, um, I think that Xander can, you know, Xander's jab, Xander's mobility, stuff like that. I think he could fare well against Laura. Yes, I do think he could fare well against Laura. I think that Carlos is a sitting duck, and then Janabek's situation. Now the IBF is vacant, right?
Mm.
Hold on a second, guys.
Yo, yo. Yeah, y'all. What's up? What's up? What y'all think in the chat though? What who should Xander move up to 160? Who should he fight? You know, me personally, I know Janet back is out. You know, still suspended, but I was figuring, you know, stay on the WBO route, capture that title. When you capture the WBO title or any title at 160, just move on to 168.
You still there? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. You there? Yo, have you been reading the super chats at least? I mean, the chats? You was slipping at all facts. You should have did that.
Mason another height. Now I was telling them um about was like Xander. If he go up to 160, just capture a title, and just when he capture a title, just move up to 168. Like just go to each division and capture a title and just roll until you know you get to the weight like 168, 175. You know, and then you know you just sit there and when you become a champion there, you defend your title. You know, because to me he's still gonna be big for 160. You feel me? That IBF
Mm,
route probably hurt him too, because you know how they
mm.
that the hate well, Jesus Ramos. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Shit,
Yo, I don't think he's ready for Shashi Foster. Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason's good.
yeah, he
He
cool.
had a good test in Albert Bell, but I'm not gonna jump off the cliff with him. I think that there's levels to boxing, and I really believe that. I think that Oshaki Foster didn't beat the likes of fighters like Scooter, you know, um, and like all the fighters that he fought for coincidence. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think Oshaki Foster, you know, yes, I'm a little on the line where that I feel to this day he fights to the level of his competition. He has a tendency of being really good, but he gets bored in the fight. Then he starts
Mm-hmm.
getting cashed in the fight and he starts letting the guy back into it when he really didn't. And then when I saw him like getting like really wiped down in one fight, he really dig down deep and fucking came out and stopped the dude. So I've seen O'Shaughnessy Foster tested in multiple situations. This is Mason's first real test. I mean, okay, you could say notes with,
Yeah.
you know, I'll give you notes, okay, but
Or
you know, I'm gonna give you that. But you can't fuck with Oshaki right now. I'm sorry. Oshaki's I'm on the
yeah,
line
he's too
that
disciplined.
Oshaki's the only fighter that just might give Shakur Stevenson a run for his money.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not put Mason in with Shakur. So that answers my question for me. You know, if I'm ready to put Oshaki Foster against Shakur, and I'm like, he might just give Shakur a good run. I want to see that fight. I might give it 60-40, you know, favorite in that fight or something, or maybe 45-55 favorite. Might not be a complete 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Dula Mason, Oshaki, like, no, I won't put a Dula Mason in with Tank. Hell no. I like Abdullah Mason. Why do I want to kill him? Let's just
Hey,
be honest.
Rich asked you a question. He said, "How? What did you think about the Scooter and Carlos Ramos fight?" He said
Okay,
he thought Rambo won.
listen, that started to slip away from Scooter. He was getting
Mm-hmm.
sloppy.
Yes,
Now,
he
what I
was.
saw there, like I said on my live, I saw Scooter Davis come out all amped up. He had all kinds of energy, right?
He did.
And he's fucking punching in the first round fast and strong. And I kept saying to myself, homeboy, chill out, right?
Yeah.
Then, like early, like in the third round, the chat started saying, "Yo, round one, what's going? You know, what you think? Ramos is." And I said, "Actually, what I'm witnessing here, what I see, is an adrenaline dump. This
Yep.
dude was so amped up. He was so amped up, Scooter Davis, that he literally drained his own battery.
Yes,
I've
he
seen
did.
that before. He's well trained. He knows
Mm-hmm.
he can do 8 rounds, but he drained his own battery."
He
Because
did.
he really thought He was gonna go out there and walk through Ramos, put him away, get a stellar knockout or a finish. He really thought that. He didn't think he was gonna be in there and he had a box. And what I saw was Scooter Davis's battery went like that. That's exactly what I saw. That's my opinion. That's what I believe I witnessed. And I saw Ramos stay efficient.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't so flashy. He was just effective and he kept coming. And he took his opportunities. He took what Scooter Davis was giving him. He was a bit outmatched in size. You could obviously see Scooter Davis was a much bigger fighter, longer, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, Scooter didn't have that snap to his jab, and it was so early. Fucking third round. I said, this man fucking drained his own battery and he couldn't keep that pace. So what I was banking on was Scooter Davis maybe getting a second wind, recharge of the batteries. Ramos, shout out to Ramos for not allowing him to recharge. He kept that pressure. He stood in that man's face. He kept, when Scooter Davis thought he could be a little relaxed, here comes Ramos over the top.
He was
You know what I'm
catching him.
saying?
Shit, Santos was like, yo, why Scooter feet like it's bad right now? Like all of them foot drills, that like his footwork ass right now. I'm like,
No,
yeah,
he kept stumbling. Oh, because
yeah,
he didn't have the energy to pull it off.
hey, bro.
He couldn't even
It's
listen. He
good.
was diverting all power to the top part of his hands. He was diverting all power, and he was being lazy with his feet. So when
Mm-hmm.
you're lazy and you don't got the energy, you start to drag, you start to make funny steps, and you can do awkward movements and like roll your ankle. Those are signs of fatigue, your battery being drained. And I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at him and I was saying, bro, this man felt, and he was so full of energy the first half. That
Yes,
I
he was.
talk about that. See, boxing is much more than what people think. People think you go in the ring and you just throw punches, and you gotta control that shit. You gotta control your feelings, your emotions. You gotta learn how your blood pressure not even rise a little bit under duress, under attack by a man wanting to punch your face off. You're in a trained professional boxer. Nothing affects you. You gotta be there and you gotta look like you're walking on the beach on a hot summer day while
Yep.
being attacked. That's boxing. Then on top of that, if the man that's attacking you happens to land a big punch,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta turn into an actor. You
Yes, you
gotta be
know.
there with a stoic face like that shit didn't do shit to you. And the inside of your body is screaming, what was.
That's a
And you
fact.
gotta be cool as shit.
That's
Like
a
this.
fact.
You can't give him nothing
It's a
because he
fact.
sees it in your face. He's gonna attack you.
Yeah. All that
You
training
gotta
go out the window.
no, you gotta be stoic. No, no, no. That's where that training comes in. You gotta
Not
learn
talking about
these
some people,
things.
right? Some people like one punch, all that training to go out the window when you see like,
Oh, no doubt. I know what you mean now. Yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. They train for one
yeah,
training camp. They're with a new coach, whatever, and they're doing it, and they're looking good. One
that's
punch,
good.
you divert right back to the old fighter.
Bad
You no
habits.
longer. You got to know how to keep mental fortitude.
Yeah,
You got to be mentally strong. You got to
yeah,
believe in your team, the system, and the
mhm,
plan.
yeah.
And then,
Key
most
thing.
importantly, you got to execute, right? So,
Yeah.
so boxing is way much more than just throwing punches. At first, when we all go into it, we just want to want to punch somebody in the face until we get punched in the face. Then we realize cause and effect, right? And
Yeah.
you're kind of stuck as a child. I was with the decision: do I still want to? I want to do this. That shit hurt.
Yep.
The next day, I found myself back in that gym as a 9-year-old kid, wrapping my hands again,
That rush,
getting in the
man.
ring again. And the thrill of bringing mom home that little trophy week by week, because we fought every week in the amateurs. Every
Mhm.
Saturday, we was fighting. I was signing up, at least I was, because I got a real kick out of bringing my mom them trophies. And before I knew it, that fucking corner wall was filled.
Yeah.
It was
Son.
just filled. Then I started boxing with my real name and everything. So, and then shit got crazy after that. But anyway, you know what I mean?
You
No,
did good.
because like I entered a lot of these tournaments when I was younger under, I'll share this with you. I don't care. Under like an alias name and shit
Mm-hmm.
because we was actually kids that were on the run.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like
I
moms and
know.
you know
I
what I'm
mean, like,
saying? Like that shit. Yeah, you get it right. So when I was on the Boxing Voice actually, and they was telling me, "Yo, round one, what's your amateur record?" I was sitting there and I was like, "Fuck," right? Because I got a good amateur record under another name,
yeah.
right? Right. But I mean, it was what it was back then in the 80s, early 90s, man. We was inner city kids and mom dukes and dad and everything. And it was what it was, bro. We did what we had to do to survive, whatever. It is what it is. But I enjoyed it then. And I just didn't make the best decisions in the world and I didn't pursue it. But now here we are, you know what I'm saying, reinventing ourselves, breaking down fighting. And out of all the years I've been around boxing, out of the 30 years I've been around in boxing, out of all the gyms I've been to, out of all the boxing matches I've ever been to, I really enjoy. Oh shit, front truck. What's brother? Took me off guard here. Let me bring you up. I hope you wasn't back there
Yo,
long.
what's good? Round one.
What's up,
No, no,
brother?
no,
How
no,
you
not long
doing?
at all. And kind of what's good, bro. I'm from the Bay Area, Northern California. I was out for the fight in New York with Xander and Booze. I totally forgot to check in with you, bro. I only
Damn.
seen the photos after I came back. I know. I wish I would have ran into you. I would definitely would have said what's up. But
I was in
that
section
environment was crazy,
17.
bro. That was one of the best
Yeah.
fights I've ever been
Talk
to
about it. Talk about it.
in person. Okay,
Yeah.
so my lady and I, we went out there, and the fights from when we sat down, there was two knockouts leading to the main event, Boots versus Xander. In that third round, there was a lot of energy in that building. In that third round, all of the dudes from Philly took a seat for like a minute,
Sat
and then
down.
every
Did you
fucking
see
Puerto
them
Rican
all
stood
sit
up.
down?
And it was like a wave. It was like a wave, bro. All
It
the
really
dudes for
was.
Philly sat down. All the Puerto Ricans stood up, and you know, um, I'm watching, and I'm seeing that Boots is like a couple punches away before getting packed up and getting a standing 8 count,
Yeah.
and then he's fighting back, and he finishes him, and
Yeah.
he puts a beating on Xander. It was just
Yeah.
like a courageous effort from Xander and a good performance from Boots.
Yeah.
Awesome, and getting off. Get once the fight finished, we bounced into the subway. That was a cool experience overall. My first time in New York, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
I
took the
was rooting for
subway too. We
Xander,
might have been on the
but
same subway.
Boots
We might have
ultimately
been.
beat him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put a beat down on him.
Yeah.
Uh, Other than that, was one of the best times ever watching boxing.
Oh yeah. Listen,
Son.
I had a wonderful time.
But
I
yeah, it was
saw
a
the
great
same
time,
thing
round
you
one.
saw.
I wish I would have bumped into you next time. I know that you're out there. I had no idea. I wasn't
Yeah.
checking in on the show, but that's cool to see you with with Shannon the Cannon and
Yeah.
Showbiz, and
Shit, I was out in the back with Shannon Briggs. We was
I've
all
seen all the
blazing,
photos you
smoking
posted.
in the back. Yeah.
What do you think?
Shannon's a,
What do you think about the overall? Yeah, yeah.
the overall performance of the fight with Xander and Boots. I think that the overall performance of the fight,
Yep.
I had mixed feelings. Um, and then I had to go back and watch the fight. At first, I thought, like everybody else, Xander fought the wrong fight. Then I realized I went on the Boxing Voice. This guy called in, Malcolm. He calls in. He said a few things, and it made me look at it a bit different. I realized, yeah, it was true. There's levels to this. Jerron Ennis was on a different level. It really didn't matter what Xander did. He was just a better fighter, a more efficient fighter. If Xander would have chose to box, stay long, stay on the outside, yeah, he probably would have survived 12 rounds. It would have just been a longer ass whooping. I think he took a chance. He went in there and he said, I'm Puerto Rican, bro. We're not going to do this Karen shit, surviving for 24 rounds. We're going to get right to it. We're going to find out if I'm him or not. He went in there. He, he tried to box the first round. I saw it. But I think he quickly realized that Jerron Ennis was a lot faster. Jerron Ennis hit him. There's a session, a moment in the first round. It's like 30 seconds, 40 seconds in the first round. Jerron Ennis hit him with 3 consecutive jabs. All 3 jabs landed. I knew right there in that moment, that's too fast for you to have your distance already. You already got your distance and you're sitting down on punches in the first round. That means that Xander was there to be hit. Now, whether or not Xander's approach, whether you can criticize him for not moving his head, whatever. Okay. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, there was no version of that young Xander Zayas winning that night. He bit off more than he can chew. There's levels to this. And that was a prime example for a guy being further along in his career in boxing and a guy not being so further along. Xander wanted to see that for himself. He couldn't believe it anymore. He asked Bob Arum. He said, Bob Arum, listen, I'm tired. I want to find out. Am I him? Let me fight Jerron Ennis. So they let him fight him. Top Rank didn't want this fight. No one wanted this fight but Xander. So what I'm saying is this. Yeah, he lost. He lost. He had a good third round. He got a good fourth round, Xander. I think those were his best rounds, the third and the fourth. After that, it was pretty much Jerron Ennis' fight, but I'm okay with this. He lost. He's 23 years old. Put 10 years on him. He's 33. He's still not even old. You got a long time with this kid. And I felt like when his coach stood up on the apron, which they did not show on TV, a lot of people were under the impression that Xander quit.
They didn't show it.
They didn't show it. And when I saw it later on TV, I knew why everybody was calling Xander a quitter. Then I understood it. But there live, I didn't understand it because it was clear as day. His coach was walking up, and Xander, when he looked like that, he was watching him walk up. Xander was realizing in that
Wow.
moment, I just lost my 2 belts.
That's crazy, Ed, because we ain't see the coach at all.
Nobody saw it. So everybody, AB that made that video, everybody, now I can see why they said that. Because it really does look like Xander was looking for a way out. But if you wasn't there live, the round before that, it was like the 5th round, then the 6th round went, and then the 7th round, it got stopped. The 5th round, the fight could have been stopped. That's when
Mm-hmm.
Javi Doc, the referee, went to the corner, said, Xander, listen, I can't allow you to take too many punches like that. I'm going to call the fight if you don't show me something. So he knew that his coach, too, told Xander, if you go down one more time, I'm going to stop this fight. I'm your coach. When Xander went down, and he looked up, he was utilizing the 8 count. He was on the knee, looking at the ref. The ref was at 5. Xander went like that, saw him walking up, and was like, fuck. And since Xander's such a class act, great student, a respectable one, He didn't jump up, cursing out his corner.
Yeah.
How dare you start the fight? Did that make you guys feel better? Xander was a great student. He respected the decision the head coach made. It was no longer in Xander's hands.
It
Now, whether
wasn't.
or not you could think he wanted a way out, look, guys, if Xander got up, there's a big chance he was going back down. He didn't have no legs underneath him. He was in trouble, and he was getting pieced the fuck up.
Yeah. We
So,
watched Ramsey get beat up by a boa chuck
yeah.
and got
So,
awarded a
so
victory.
uh, listen. But I think that Xander, he went in there. The coach wanted to see if I see right away. You want to dare to be great? You want to fight this guy before you move up? Fine, we'll fight this guy. We won't just vacate the belts. We'll give somebody the right to try to beat you for the belt the right way, then move up. The sneaky way and the way not to be challenged is a champion vacates the belt and moves up to the next division and puts him vacant. But Xander chose the more warrior approach. Xander woke up that morning when negotiations fell through with Oscar De La Hoya and his promotion, Ed Hearn with Virgil Ortiz. Xander woke up that morning, stretched. Xander, what are you going to do today? I choose death. I want to fight Jerron Butenis. Fuck are you doing? What you mean you choose death today? Xander, you feeling crazy? Go back to sleep. Like nobody wanted this fight. But the young man wanted it. What were we going to do?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Diego crazy, yo.
What
Shout
fuck
out
we going to
Diego.
do? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
Diego said he couldn't resist that Puerto Rican knee.
The Puerto Rican. Okay. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Because now, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen right now at Round One Sports TV? Now, Round One Sports TV is going to expose everybody's knee. Wait a minute. Didn't Abdullah Mason beat Alberto Bell last night while he was on his knee? The
Mm-hmm.
American knee. Didn't Abdullah Mason knock out the Dominican dude? And he checked all boxes, the one with the shag. Remember,
Yep.
he quit on his knee while looking at the corner, telling the corner he's going to quit, and the referee counted to 10. The
Mm-hmm.
Dominican knee. Abdullah Mason also has on his highlight a Mexican dude that quit on his knee. If you don't believe, wait, hold up. You know how we do around One Sports Talk, right? Talk is cheap, right? Talk is real cheap. But you know what ain't cheap? Here, proof, right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you say Puerto Rican knee? Is that what you said? I think that's what you said. I think that's what you said. Hold up.
Ryan
Hold
took a
up.
knee.
He took it. That's another Mexican knee. Hold on. Just Abdullah by himself. Just that one fighter by himself, right? He put so many people on the knee. It's ridiculous, right? Look at this. Hold on. I'm going to get it ready for you because I want you guys to get it right. And I'm going to show you what the real criteria of a man quitting on his knee is like and what it should look like. I'm going to show you firsthand the
You
difference
got a super.
between Xander and what you guys are trying to push out of because you guys got jokes. You guys got jokes? No problem. We're also going to visit the Mexican tier. Oh, you don't know the Mexican tier? That's when the Mexican got knocked out. He was 16-0, and he got up and he got knocked out and he started crying on the referee's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
We have that video for you. The Mexican tier. Okay, this is how you guys want to do this? We're going to do this. Check this out. Okay, I just got to get the right. Oh, we here. Thank you for tuning in here at another edition of Round One Sports TV. $2 super chat. Bell took the knee. The what? The knicker knee. Yeah, yeah. Check it out. Check it out. You ain't right. Yo, but I like that one though. That's creativity. Yo, check it out. Here we go. Check it out. Y'all want to play this game? I can play this game. Is how we doing it? Okay. Check it out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
Mexican taking me for
Look.
physical hurt.
Okay. For educational boxing purposes, we're going to be taking a look at the Dominican knee. The Dominican knee. This is the first. Okay, because we got the American knee, we got the Mexican knee, we got the Dominican knee, all done by Abdullah Mason. Check this out. Here we go. Oh, what position is he in? Look at the corner. Romas, take the head. The top. Brother,
Dang.
what is that? Tell me all facts.
That's a day. They call him
Is that
Abdullah Nini Mason.
is that not the Dominican knee right there?
You know it.
Oh, okay. Listen, Abdullah's famous for him. He puts all these boys like that. Hold on. How do you put this one down? Which one? How do you do this? I forgot this guy. I know he finishes them, but yo, Abdullah got a lot. I just got to see how he. I forgot how he puts this guy down. Oh, wait. What's this? What's this? Where he at? Oh, he's on the floor somewhere. Let's see. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh no, he goes straight back on his back. No. He put him straight back. No. But Abdullah got a lot of them. Trust me. Listen, I think this is the guy right here. He puts down 3 times on one knee. Look, this knee.
Back pocket.
Mexican one. I should have been a plumber. Yo. Look. Down bad, bro. Dudes want to come out with that knee joke.
Diego said Mexicans take a knee for physical hurt. Puerto Ricans do it because they want no mas. It's Puerto Rican champions at that. Bro,
it's Puerto Rican.
Getting your ass whipped, man.
Yeah. Y'all still want to go there? I got something for you.
Man, they tripping.
I want to play this game. Fine, I can play this game. Is this how y'all want to do it? Okay, this is what we doing. This is what we doing. Oh yeah, right here, boo.
Put Ryan out.
Huh?
They better hope Connor Ben don't put Ryan out.
Actually, what you heard of what this? Oh, you heard what
De La Hoya, right?
De La Hoya said, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
De La Hoya said that they never even got an offer or anything, and that's a little bit alarming. Hold on. Wow, my page does this. It really kicks me out like this into this shit. Oh shit, it got me all the way down here. Hold on, I think I'm too far. I'm too far. It might be too far. Let me see. While I'm in this mode, I guess it doesn't let me go to my videos and shit because I was gonna put up the Mexican tier. Yo, that shit is hilarious. Oh, here we go. I think it's gonna let me do it now. Okay. Because I'll tell you what. Hold up. Yo, don't let me find this shit. I gotta find it. These motherfuckers got jokes. I got jokes too. I like jokes. I like telling jokes.
Yeah, because like majority of every fight they be getting their ass whipped, I mean.
Yeah, no. I need them though. I need them. I need Mexico to stay around. But yo, they like trolling. They love the trolling. I see that. I see that they be on it. But damn man, I can't find this video. Hold on. I can't let them out of this. I'm not doing my due diligence. I gotta really like tighten up here. What's this right here? We have hold up. Yo, so what else is new in boxing, bro? Like, what else did you like on this card? Did you like Bruce Carrington's performance?
I have felt asleep.
Yeah, yeah,
I
well,
woke up. I woke up in the AM, watched it.
yep,
He looked good. He looked cool. Just
yep.
he got he need more pizzazz with himself. The way he talk.
Uh,
Like he got to deliver. He got to deliver. He
no,
really
my
got to.
thing is you're already 29 years old, bro. It's either now or never. Like, you know what I'm saying? With Abdullah Mason, like really,
And
like
I think Spinoza cleaning.
what?
Like don't like Raphael. Like if he try to unify, you know,
Right,
uh, him and Brandon to be a good fight. You feel me? Brandon gonna take him
right.
into the water to see how his chin is.
You know who
Um, I think Angela Leo would be a good test for him. Probably out of the three, it'd be probably one like an easier fight out of the three. Cause I
right.
know
I would avoid
Raphael,
Espinoza first if
he
I
got a
could.
good.
You know, I would just leave him for last. Not like to avoid him that shoes too scared of him or anything. You know,
Yeah,
not
last.
in that sense. Not in that sense. You feel me? It's just
Yeah,
like
good last.
I just think that Espinoza definitely like I can't even find his fucking video. Fuck it. So I just think that Espinoza definitely like should be one that you would definitely want to test yourself last if you could avoid him. But if no other champion wants to get in the ring with you and Bruce Carrington wants to dare to be great, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you're 29 years old, for God's sake. Like I don't think you need to keep fighting these lackluster guys anymore. It's either like go for champions or move up another weight division. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if Bruce Carrington, like I said, can fuck with Oshaki Foster, but there's other champions other than Oshaki Foster. Do you think,
Now,
what about Navarrete?
now
What do you
Red's gonna be
guys,
too much for him.
you think so?
Yeah, he punched too hard. He gonna be too much for him. Boy, heavy handed, man.
I don't, what does he do? I mean, he's going to have to take a chance somehow, but
He's gonna have to take a chance between out of those
what are you
two.
going to do? You're going to pack up your career
Nah,
in
he
boxing, claiming to be the best with one belt?
take the Navarrete fight then. You know,
I don't
uh,
know. I don't know. Look, to tell you the truth, um, okay, uh, uh shit.
who else is champion over there?
That what do you mean? For the champions over there at Navarrete got
130,
two
right?
belts. He got the IBF. He's got the IBF, and he got the WBO, right? And then you got Anthony what's his name? Anthony Cas I can't pronounce his name. And he has the WBA, and then Oshaki Foster has the other one, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oshaki Foster has the WBC, of course. Then you got Anthony that got the WBA. Then Navarrete got the IBF and the WBO for 130.
Yeah,
That's how it
okay.
goes. So shit.
See,
Shit. He's
Oshaki.
got I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure if Bruce Carrington can beat those guys, but he could dare to be great. He could show us. What if he goes to 130 and he's actually punching even harder or something like that. But I see what you're saying. Because Navarrete's that type of fighter, and I've always been honest with him. I've always picked against him, and he wins every fucking time.
Right?
I always think somebody's gonna catch up finally to that fucking awkward style that has no strategy. You can clearly see if you study boxing, you can clearly see that Navarrete fights off instinct. He doesn't
Yeah.
have any game plan. He lets nature take its course. That's what kind of fighter he is. I can
When I
see
see
that
him, when I see
clear
him,
as day.
he remind me of a Mexican that's in the speakeasy, 3 o'clock in the morning. Go outside, running. Bro, he can
And his
like,
piggies.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
seasons, you feel me? Like 3 o'clock in
yo,
the morning, come out and fight you. You be like, damn, we still rumbling. It's an hour in. Like, yeah, he
yeah.
reminds me of one of those fighters, man.
He's like he's got a good work engine,
Yeah,
bludgeon power, can take a good punch. He's got a great beard, good chin.
yes, he
Uh,
can.
you know, he can a fighter like that, that style can be frightening sometimes if you're not familiar how to deal with it and you don't have respectable power to back him up.
Cause I
You're
thought
gonna need
Ricardo Williams was gonna do it.
yeah, you're gonna need a few things to fight a fighter like Navarrete. You're gonna need a few things, but like I said, I always felt like, okay, this is gonna be the time. Oscar Valdez is gonna come teach the boxing world that boxing is superior over fucking and nope, here comes Navarrete. Like,
Yep.
god damn this dude. So look, I'm convinced. Like until you guys beat him, you know, I saw that fight where he looked bad, where that they called it an accidental headbutt, right? With
Hmm.
what's his name, and that was a punch.
Yeah, yeah, I
We we
remember that. That definitely
we
was a
went
punch.
back, we saw it. It was a clear punch with instant replay in effect,
Yeah.
and Navarrete still walked away with his belt. So besides controversy fights, things like that, you know, he's just a tough out. Navarrete's a tough out. He's a champion, two-time champion in the division. So, you know, I'm not sure if that's the avenue Bruce Cameron wants to take. I'm not sure about that. But if that's not his avenue, I'm with you with Angelo Leo. I'll go that way. I'll go Brandon Figueroa. I'll go that way with Bruce Cameron. Brandon Figueroa is acting like a little fucking herb right now. I don't know if it's just me or am I catching him on bad fucking interviews or something, but he's saying no to everything.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm just like I'm like, yo, Figueroa, like who was it? They was talking him up. They was like, yo, Figueroa fight so and so. And he was like, hell no. Like off rip. And
Yeah, I don't
I
know why.
forgot who it was. I mean, you know, I know all these guys are holding on to their belt at 126 in the hopes that Neil Yanaway moves up the money train. So I get it. I get it.
Shushu is food for anyway. No, uh, even watching the Carlos Castro fight, people go by the knockout like by his performance. I still see food. I'm like, damn, like if anyway, dude plan on moving up, because I always wanted to see him beat on Nick Ball. You feel me? Um,
Hmm.
so Shushu, you there now? You feel me? So
Yeah.
there's no way he can move up and mandate that fight, because of the title you have. And just
Yeah.
off your last two performances that I see, like you fool, man. You
Yeah.
fool, you fool.
Yeah. And like Angelo Leo, I seen that last fight you had. Okay, I get it. But you got to do something with that belt too. You guys got to all stop being scared of this Espinoza cat. You know, just try to like either unite under you guys or something. Because I remember Scooter Stephen Kubo Fulton left the division once upon a time. Leo sent Leo there. Leo, Angelo Leo, fought Stephen Kubo Fulton and lost to him. But I
Hmm.
remember that fight. I watched that fight. He had a brace on his knee. He was basically fighting Scooter's Stephen Kubo Fulton with one leg, and he did
Wow.
really good against Scooter. Yeah, Scooter beat him in the fight. Um, but they were going back and forth, him and fucking Angelo Leo. I liked that fight a lot. So when I met Angelo Leo in Las Vegas, we were going through the hallway. He was walking around with his little IBF belt. And I was like, yo, Angelo, what up? And that dude, True School Sports, filmed us because it
Mm,
wasn't my video. I was just walking by.
yeah.
And he was walking by and he was talking about he want to leave the division, this, that. And I said, Scooter wants to leave the division. And I turned around and I said, yo, don't let him leave. Well, Angelo, you need to be at that man's fight. You need to be in that man's face. Run that
Yeah,
fade back. And that's for unification. And I told him to his face. Angelo Leo, I said, yo, Angelo Leo, if I were you, bro, you were that close from winning that fight from Scooter and you had one leg. I would like to see that fight again. I want to see if Scooter can just definitively, he got that much better than you, or did you catch up and the leg is what affected you? And it would have been
yeah.
for two belts, but it
Mm-hmm.
never happened. And they got video of me saying that to Angelo Leo. And shout out to True School Sports that put the video out. You
That's
know,
what's up.
yeah, and I was just like telling them, bro. But and then Scooter left, photo Shocky Foster, and a fucking I don't know what to say about that all facts. Yo, all facts. How the fuck do you jump up a division and miss weight by being too heavy?
Yeah. I don't know, man, because I'm gonna be real. I never been a Scooter fan.
Hmm. He's
I
been to
think
my
he was.
sister's gym a few times.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of times. He been in his sister gym a lot of times. You know,
Yeah,
uh, I, to me, it just was a lot of hype behind him. Ever since he cut his tail, like he been different. You know what I mean, he should have kept his tail. Probably would have kept him a little level. But once he cut his tail, like that shit was over. But I never been a fan of Scooter. I never thought he was like a
yeah.
serious threat. Yeah, I never thought he was a serious threat. You
Well,
know,
I never thought he was a big puncher. I thought he was a decent boxer. He's always been a decent, skilled boxer. I think
yeah.
Scooter moves good with his top and his bottom, his feet. He's
Nigga,
real
sometimes
short, so he's real, like
I think
compact
he
type shit.
hesitates. Yeah, sometimes I just think he hesitates and he don't be letting go too much. You feel
You
me?
right.
Thinking it's
You
a
right.
bad habit,
Yeah,
you
you right
know?
about that.
Habit.
You are 100% about that right. I think that sometimes he has a bad habit of wanting to see the punch,
Yeah. So
and I think that cost him. I think Naoya in a way shocked him, to be honest. I think that Japanese dude is the truth. And he was a bit too fast, but his scooter couldn't make no adjustments in that fight. But
at all.
look, Scooter, that was a bizarre situation with Oshasi Foster. That I don't think I can remember a situation where a guy claim moves up in weight and misses weight but because he's too heavy, not because he was too light.
And he
I've always
still
seen
fought
it.
for an interim title.
And for an interim 135-pound title, yeah, I called him the 135-pound title, and somebody said he's the 130-pound champion. I'm like, you're right, but he did win that 135-pound interim title against fucking. You know what
Cool
I'm
boy.
saying? So I am also right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think he let it go.
He
The
let it go.
35. I don't think he got the 35 no more. I think he's just focused on the 30 now. Yes.
Yes.
But um, yeah, yeah, that was interesting. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that what's his name? Bruce Carrington is ready for Shocky Foster at all. Nah, I just nah, nah.
Mm.
And
Fighting
then
cool boy,
on
right? You think him and
um
Cool Boy
um
will be a good fight?
huh?
You think Bruce Karen Shoo and Cool Boy will be a good fight?
Yeah. But I think Bruce Carrington got a bigger punch, bro. He might hurt Scooter's smart enough to deal with power. He's been doing it his whole career. If you weren't a big puncher and you got up to two belts, it was because you knew how to deal with power.
Yeah.
You didn't get there not knowing how to do shit. So Scooter is actually, respectfully, Scooter's a good boxer, bro. He's a good boxer. He's got a good boxer's mind. He knows how to outsmart guys. Now, like I said, I've never been in the ring with Scooter. I don't know how strong, how not his punching power is. What's the deal there? Does he have like snapping power? Or is it really that he doesn't have that kind of power that can back a guy at the top level off? Like when we think about this all facts, right? Sometimes we view boxing, right? We don't realize what's happening. Meaning, when you see guys rank 55, 60,
Mm-hmm.
30, those are the guys still making their way through the division.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is the best punchers, the best skill fighters, and the best chins are at the top. Those are the
Yes.
guys that have been battle tested and their chins held up. So when you start getting to the top, you're coming against the best chins, the best
Mm-hmm.
punchers, the best skill fighters the division has to offer. You understand? So
Yep.
your knockouts are actually supposed to be less because you're coming against your equal. These are all the guys that are at the top that most men cracked them and they didn't go nowhere. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Pow, what's up? Oh shit." These are the guys. So Scooter definitely knew how to get and work through power in order for him to get where he was at. I feel that way about him. I watched him fight countless of times. And that's just in the nutshell how I feel about that. Tiger Johnson, on the other hand, I gotta ask you, with the performance that you saw, Tiger Johnson, a lot of people told me just before the fight, yo, round one. I said, what? They said, yo, Tiger Johnson's ready for Devin Haney. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I'm not the biggest Devin Haney fan, but I'm not just gonna shit on the man. Okay? I'm gonna tell you what I think. Y'all better chill.
Yeah, I agree
Like
with you.
you
I ain't a Devin Haney
y'all
fan.
better
Devin gonna
chill.
get Tiger ass.
Come on,
Devin
bro.
gonna
Like
get
Tiger's
Tiger.
good, but he needs some more work to learn how to work with and fight more styles before you guys set him up for the drive-by. I'm trying to tell you right now, you think that Devin's a punk. You think he's boring. Okay, fine. I can't disagree with the fact that he's not a killer. But a fighter and a boxer, he is. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all gassed that man up, Brian Norman Jr., to really believe he was ready for Devin. Y'all fed him to Devin. And Devin showed you he still had punching power. Not the dog is not there like it once was, but he was cautious, alert, efficient, and effective. That's everything Devin was. He wasn't fan favorite. He didn't bring you the blood we so desired. I get it. But Devin ain't no punk. And if y'all think you're gonna talk up, Tiger Johnson started yelling, Devin, y'all motherfuckers wanna see me? Come see me. I was like, oh, okay, Tiger. I respect it.
Hey,
I'm a big Tiger fan. I respect it. But Tiger, chill out. Chill out, homeboy. I want you to be better prepared. I want you to
hey,
have a real chance against Devin. And
before
I
you
didn't feel
before
that
you
way coming
keep
off
him
this
up,
fight. What'd you think?
I think Devin beats him. You know, just off this performance right here, just watching it, I'm like, nah, he ain't ready for this.
Nah,
He
you
like,
just and I
hey,
told Frontline, yo, Frontline, bro, you're a little prisoner in the moment. You know how Frontline get he get real
yeah,
biased, right? Once he likes a fighter, that's it. So I'm like, yo, Frontline, bro, chill out, bro. Nah. Um, um, Tiger Johnson will knock out Ted. Yo, he was saying crazy reckless shit yesterday. I was like, yo, Frontline, you bugging, you tweaking. I was like, yo, Frontline. But Frontline, that's why I like him, right? He makes the show interesting, right? He gets me caught up in all these crazy fights, got me out there in the street looking crazy with him. Because he talks me and then all of a sudden me and Frontline were standing outside, all fucked up, lost all our money, you know what I'm saying? Because he wanna let it ride on the Spanish dude, but that's my dude, Frontline, man. He's a real passionate dude, like, and I and the reason why I get along with him so much is because I understand him. I don't hold him to the same standards I would hold a guy that claims to know it all or
yeah,
historian. I now you start talking that talk, I'm gonna test your boxing ability.
mm-hmm.
Frontline, he's the spark of the show, the passion. He just wears his passion on his sleeve. And I
Yeah,
need that for the fans because I don't want you guys to feel like you guys are embarrassed because you're picking your favorite fighter. Fuck that. Have pride, bro. Come up here and tell me how prideful you are for your guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I will never put you in a box.
like that's what the
That's
link's
there's
for.
nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yeah.
so that's why I let Frontline rock out. You know, sometimes people be asking me, why you got this dude on this show? He be like, and I'm like, yo, you gotta understand. There's fans like this out here. What are we gonna do? Shun them all? Everybody's
Mm.
gotta be right. Everybody's gotta agree with what I say. No. I
Yeah.
didn't want a boxing show like that. I know I have my opinion. I feel strongly about my opinion. But sometimes I can be stubborn.
Yeah, y'all
But
good together though. Y'all good together.
yeah, yeah,
You
like
know?
I'm just like, yo, you know, I laugh. I have a great time. Even when your boy Santos comes through, you come through. A lot of people come through and shit. We just have a great
Shout
time and
out, we
shit.
fight all night. My brother
Ye-
Santos and we fight all night.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, I told him too. I said, yo, if Xander wins, you give me a pass. All facts gets a pass because he from Philly, right? But we was going at it. It was just beautiful fucking back boxing talking, and that's what I feel like it should be. The
Yeah.
vibe, the energy. You come on my show, brother. All facts. We don't gotta disrespect each other to get our points off and talking about boxing. Look how we talking. You getting your point of view. I hear your side. You hear my side. We do. We have to do. A lot of these boxing channel, all fact, they lead by intimidation,
Mhm.
being aggressive, leading by street, and I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be have a good vibe, but a strong tone.
Yeah.
We ain't softened down boxing over here. We allowing full boxing shit talking, but with respect. Ain't gotta be like, bro, when I see you on the street, I'm gonna shoot you, blah, 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 whenever, blah, 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 your kid's that, your girl this. And,
That
bro,
should be cool.
you lost control.
Yeah, that
You
should be cool.
completely lost control as a fan. So that's what I'm trying to build here. Safe platform where we could talk our barbershop boxing. And hood nigga barbershop boxing right now, Javante Davis, um, um, uh, Duran Butenis, Ben, the monster David Benavidez, guys like that. They're at the top of the list in hood boxing. And right now, I think Duran Butenis took the throne in hood nigga boxing shit. Like,
Yeah.
I think that he took the throne right now because David the Monster Benavidez was leading the way, but you know how we are in the hood. We in the hood when we judge fights, we be like prisoners in the moment, like a motherfucker. You know, we fresh off the excitement. Whoever give us the next beat up, he's the best. You know how we are, right?
So
We
Almonte
get a little.
coming back with McKelly, and he gonna put McKelly in the sleep. Everybody, blah. David
You like that
Benavidez.
fight? You like that
Yeah,
fight?
yeah, I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. I
All
like
right.
it. I
Cool.
love it.
You know because David the Monster Benavidez never actually made the 200. It's a little
Mhm.
concerning for me when everybody was saying David the Monster Benavidez walks around at 225. He's a big dude. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. He says on an interview, what did he say? First fight I ever entered, I never had to cut weight. So he didn't cut a
Mhm.
single pound. And he never came in the 200. So I don't know where the fans get off by just freely thinking that they're fucking weight trainers and they could look at him and tell, oh, he's about 225 and say he walks around at this because he didn't even cut 1 pound and you
He
didn't
did.
make 200. So I was wondering and I wanted to ask you, a fellow boxing brother, you know, and you already told me you like to fight. So, we got past that point. But I was going to ask you, do you think you could get another fight to acclimate rather than fighting for a title or anything like that? Because
Oh, for
he
Benavidez.
didn't make the 200 when he fought Zuldo. He fought strong. He fought like a man that
No,
was
but
like 225.
wow, I thought Benavidez was like 189 in that fight, right? Was he light? He was light. I don't think he was
Well, he was
200.
196. Remember, the weight limit was 200.
196, 196, 196.
Right. He jumped up from 175. That was a 25-pound weight jump. The biggest weight jump in all of boxing. From 175 to cruiserweight 200. That's 25 pounds. That's 5 divisions in one jump. If you think Canelo and Terrence Crawford jumped up to 2 divisions, that was hard. He jumped up 5 weight divisions in one move. Remember, David the Monster Benavidez, that's 25 pounds. From 122 to 126 is 4 pounds. 4. He did about a 5 division weight jump, and he didn't make the 200. He came in the fight 196. Then Zuldo replenished to upwards of the 220, 230 coming into the fight. Zuldo had a lot of weight on David the Monster Benavidez, and I couldn't tell. Who was the bigger man? Who was punching the harder? David the Monster Benavidez was. He was fighting like he was 230. Like his punch was weighing like the effects he had on him. So I was just asking you, would you, on his performance, you think he's ready for the world, but on his weight, does that concern you? And would you have liked to see him take a more subtle approach, acclimating to or he's already in the fire, he's proven to you, he got your nod.
The reason he got my nod because everything he did at 168. You feel me? The names he racked up, the people Canelo ain't fighting, and they was his mandatories. David Benavidez was cleaning all of them niggas' clocks. You know, so he's in the fire right now. You feel me?
He went up to 175 and fought Yard.
Yeah.
And fought.
But
Yeah,
I ain't like
what
that
the?
yard fight. That yard fight
You didn't
to
like
me,
it?
nah, because I knew it was there for him to get a knockout. Because remember his first fight at 175, it was against the Russian boy Alexander. What's his guy name?
Yes, he looked good for 4 rounds.
Yeah, then he looked like
That's it.
shit. You feel me? And then he ain't
All
get no
right.
knockout. So I just thought Yard
Okay.
was put there to get the knockout. I always thought
Right.
that. So I ain't like that Yard fight. I never liked it when he said
Mm,
never liked it. Because I knew he was going to
mm.
beat him and I knew what he was there for, just to get knocked out.
You felt that way about Yard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt that way. The Zordo, I can give him props on the Zordo. You know, now you got to come for everything that comes behind it. You know, you got those titles, man. If people want to unify, listen, man, you want that smoke? It's the Benavidez era. We got to see, make it happen. You know,
Well, I think it's not only the David the Monster Benavidez era, but there's also a market to become the face of Mexican boxing for Mexican fighters.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
And
Let's
he's
just
going to have
remember what.
Mexican
Huh?
American fighting. He's going to be
Yes.
representing both Mexican and Mexican American. You feel me?
Yes. Okay. Now, like I said, I always watch fights and I look for clues. The night of the fight that David the Monster Benavidez fought Zuldo, on that card, Jaime Munguia fought. Saul
Mm-hmm.
Canelo Alvarez was in attendance.
He
When Jaime
was.
Munguia won, he went in the ring. He's trying to pass the torch to Jaime Munguia.
Mm-hmm.
But what ended up happening the rest of the night, David the Monster Benavidez stole the night. And the fans started backing him and they started booing Canelo.
Yeah.
That's why the plan didn't work. The Mexican fan base didn't accept who Canelo was deeming the next Mexican face
So,
of boxing. You understand? So, what I feel is there's a lot of talent coming up, and we can't forget about Virgil Ortiz. Although he's Mexican American, there are a lot of Mexicans that do support him. He's in the running. Then you got Ryan Garcia. Believe it or not, he's in the running. They want to pretend like they deny him, but let Ryan keep doing shit. They're going to claim him. I guarantee it.
mm-hmm.
Also, you got another Mexican and David the Monster Benavidez coming from the left. And then you got fucking Emiliano, the General Vargas, coming
Those
up the
the two.
ladder.
Those the two.
Yeah,
No.
listen, that kid, he looks like the Mexican Elvis Presley. That
Yeah. And we
Emiliano
got
kid,
banned. And we got
he's
banned
got
too.
all the looks. He's got the charisma. He knows how to talk. He knows how to fight. If these dudes are not careful, He's gonna take that torch.
Yes, he is.
Like listen, remember when Oscar De La Hoya did it?
Yes, he
He
did.
was a good looking dude, plus the gold medalist. Bro, when you saw Oscar De La Hoya gotta get off those planes, women were fainting. They were throwing their panties at him. He was living the life of a rock star as a boxer. Yo, he's one of the few fighters, Oscar De La Hoya, that says that he can talk about experiencing something like that. Doodle
Yeah,
Mason can't say that. Albert Bell
yeah.
can't say that. Virgil Ortiz can't say that. Sebastian Fundora can't say that. Shit. Um, Xander is okay there in certain cities. Anywhere. The difference between being the face of boxing and a superstar, that's Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather shit.
Yeah.
Oscar was mobbed by the women. Most men wish they were him, and
Floyd was
other
hating
men,
on him.
they was hating
Floyd,
on him.
Floyd was
Yeah,
hating on him when he was in top
because
rank.
because he had garnished so much of the boxing fucking. He was the golden boy, bro. Like Oscar was on top of the world, bro, for real, for real. And then Oscar reigned after he beat him. Oscar started going that way, but there are in a 1% of men in boxing. They're literally in a 1%. Listen, there's places right now. Terrence Crawford doesn't need any security. He's not gonna get mobbed. Don't worry. Ain't nobody gonna know who he is. Certain
That
places in the world, in the US, I know Terrence Crawford will get approached in certain places, and he'll generate a little crowd. Yes, but there's only some people that possess that Beatle. Like the Beatles, the band, the Beatles, Michael
yeah,
Jackson, Prince,
I know
Aura,
that. Yeah,
like Manny Pacquiao. There was a time where Manny Pacquiao couldn't go outside in the Philippines. Shit, even in the
yeah,
US,
yeah.
right? He was a real star.
Yeah.
But uh Devin Haney can walk through Las Vegas. I mean, some people gonna know, yeah, they're gonna say, what's up? In New York. Devin Haney will become like every New York. If you're from the city, this is common. I try to tell these people all the time. When I'm in New York, especially in the noontime, when like back in the day, I'm really showing my age now. When like TMZ and all them was there and all that, on any given day, you would
Yeah,
see fucking any given actor. All those dudes from Friends, you would see
yeah,
them. Fat Joe, he'd always be in New York. That then the Terror Squad, like them dudes, you would see them all the time. Um, you would see all these dudes in public, but it was New York. You just it was just common. So
mhm,
actors, movie stars on a daily basis are just walking around that motherfucker. Sometime in glasses, you'll notice them get a quiet autograph, but don't act like a tourist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The only man that I actually saw with my own two eyes, because I was there, I was in New York standing right there. The only man I ever saw shut down New York City was only one man, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
That's it. That's the only people I've ever witnessed. People talk about it that this actor did it, or I never seen it though. I was literally in Times Square at that McDonald's. I was
Yeah,
coming out, right? You know which one I'm talking about. And he was
was.
coming out of that recording studio shit. And he was
Mm-hmm.
going to, I think, shop for, they were saying, well, the crowd starts talking. And by the time it got back to me, it was like Michael Jackson, like seashells at the seashore. You know what I'm saying? And he probably said something like, I like, singing or something. But when it comes back to you, it's all fucked up. But what I
Yeah, I
got
remember.
was he was shopping for a vase. That's what they said
Wow,
he was doing. I don't know if it was true
wow.
that he was shopping for those tall vases, like them Chinese vases.
Uh-huh.
I guess he had a thing for it, and that's what they were saying. I like I said, don't the story that I'm saying here. I'm telling you, I'm being honest with you. I'm not sure what he was doing because the mob, it was so fast. Once the New Yorkers found out Michael Jackson, that was really Michael Jackson, everybody came out of every fucking store. The stores basically emptied, and the crowd had accumulated within seconds, not minutes or hours, within seconds, 40, 60 seconds, something like that. There were about 500 people there.
And he
And
stood on
about
the car,
another
right?
minute, yeah, it was when I'm telling you, he shut down New York.
I,
When
I
he
remember.
shut down, they needed to call the National Guards, the cops. They had to start restoring order type shit like that. I've only seen that once in my life that I was actually there. Anybody else can say, yeah, the Beatles did it. Well, I wasn't there. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I
fuck
never
you.
saw any of that. I'm just speaking on what I saw. No one can tell me what I did. I was there, and I was like, holy shit. So when you see something like that, it fucks you up. Because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think that shit was possible. New York don't shut down for nobody.
Yeah,
For
Mike got power.
nobody.
That nigga
Bro,
got power.
no, man. Fucking Liberace. All the dudes walk through New York, man. Shit don't shut down like that. No. I've seen comedians, movie actors. Fucking even Tom Cruise didn't he shut down New York.
Yeah,
Like Michael was
Trump
different.
ain't shut down
That
New York.
was different.
Trump never
Yeah.
shut down New York. Turkey never shut
Nah.
down New York.
No, Trump never shut down New York like that. No. No. Not that I know of. No, I've never witnessed that. I can't speak on anything like that. I've never saw it on video on YouTube, not, but Michael's power was definitely different. But anyway, yo, listen, yeah, I these fights on this card, man, all facts. I had to ask you. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you think the stoppage was good? Now that we talked, it was about more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the fight. Let's rationalize it. Like I get it. He
It
could have
wasn't.
went going, but let's say in a good world, all facts. Bell gets up, down twice within 30 seconds. Tell me, all facts from your boxing experience. Go from right there. What happens? Truly, like, really, what happens? You think he
I'm,
goes down again? You think he
I'm gonna give
makes it
you
out the
two.
round? What
Yes,
happens?
I'm gonna give you two scenarios. All
Okay,
right.
come on.
The first scenario, remember his nose, so he's breathing heavy out of his mouth.
Yep.
Probably another 45 seconds, he can be out of there. You know,
Mm,
or he could just try to implement his game plan that he had in the first half and trying to stay on his back foot and pop shot motherfucking Abdullah Mason. But the key thing is, it's probably what like until then it's probably like a minute and some change left in the round. You already know he's going to come in full force because this is the championship round and he already had you hurt 2 times. Um, Either way, he's going to get stopped.
yeah.
He's going to get
You think
stopped.
so? I
Yeah,
think
he's
so.
going
No. In the beginning, when like a lot of people were coming out making the tapes and shit, like, oh shit, I was like, maybe it was one of those times where like that Ben Whitaker Popeye fight when they
to.
stopped that fight. Now I felt that was too early. I was like,
No,
wait a minute, Popeye was still
yeah, he was.
coherent, like he wasn't dazed. He didn't. There was nothing wrong with the man. I still don't understand why the referee stopped that fight. Uh, but the thing was, I wanted to hear. I heard what you said. I want to hear what everybody said because I still don't got a tape where they were showing the front of his face. I think that's important on my decision making in the match because I'm only seeing Albert Bell's the back of his head. I'm
No,
not
his
looking.
he was
I'm not
cool.
looking. Yeah,
You heard?
I just have. I haven't seen one. I'm
He
not
said,
seeing what the refs looking at.
yeah. Now
You know, did the
they
ref see
showed
him? Did he see his eyes roll back in the back of his head? And the ref
nah.
saw
He
that
seen
and
him
was like,
look
"Wait a
down.
minute."
he seen him look down because when he felt, remember his face hit the canvas. Remember he pushed him down,
Mm-hmm.
so his face hit the canvas. So when he was getting up, he looked at the ref and he put it. I mean, he put his head down. He started looking at the ground to get the 8 count, and the ref just went in there and just stopped it.
Stopped it
That's when
because
he
he
looked at
probably
the
thought
ref and he was like,
his will was broken. I don't
yeah.
know.
It,
I
it, that, it,
mean,
it, it looked it like that. The
if it
way he
was
looked at
any
the ref
other
and looked at
referee,
him,
if
you
it was
know,
any other referee, I wouldn't have questioned what you said. But since it's that dude right there, yo, you know how many controversy stoppage that dude got. So when you started saying it, I was like, maybe all facts is right. Like maybe this might have been like a bad stoppage or something. So I gotta ask him. That's why I was like, all facts. Like I see it my way and I saw your way. And I was like, the referee's what throws me off because
yeah,
it was him. Because it was him.
hmm
And that's I was like, but I said, besides the referee, besides anybody's opinion, I just needed to ask you. You know, I know you box, I know you've been around gyms, I know your shit. And I was like, wait a minute, all facts. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's just say hypothetically, he does not stop the fight. Does he make it out the round? In this
yeah,
scenario, where you already got dropped twice within 30 seconds, that you could not avoid the first punch you saw coming your way.
yeah,
Like you listen, go back and watch it. He telegraphed that. Or he ran up to him. He might as well have been yelling, I'm gonna throw the right hand right now while doing it because he still couldn't get out the way. So I had to tack on exhaustion, mental exhaustion, you know, staying engaged in the fight, knowing where you're at in the fight, knowing the consequences. Albert Bell, someone in your corner needed to tell you, brother, you're up in this fight. If you
yeah,
make it to the end of this bell, you're the new. So he had to be aware of these things, man. And I just
yeah.
had to know if yeah. So what'd you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. If he even had somebody in the corner was like, yo, just go on cruise control right now, you up on the scorecards, you feel me? But when he relieved that his nose was broke, I think it was like the ninth round, eighth, ninth
Yeah,
round. When that dude hit him,
yeah,
broke his nose, he started breathing out of his mouth.
right.
I was like, dang, because
Damn. That
you
that's
seen
a
it.
hard yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey
And then at the
Vincent, we
same
know
time,
Abdullah pushed him down. We know we pushed him down. That's why we talking about the stoppage.
right, Vincent,
Um,
that the yes. He hit him with a shot, but the referee was I believe he was right in scoring the second knockdown. The reason why, because when we're taught in boxing that if you hit the guy in the same boxing motion, if he's going forward and you happen, like we've seen it time and time again, when the guy's trying to hold on to the other guy's waist and the guy just backs up and the guy slides down, they still counting that knockdown. So
fact.
although Abdullah had his hands still placed in a worse situation where he was blocking so that Albert Bell didn't throw that shot over the top. You know how guys duck down and then they get caught sleeping. Yeah, a lot of
hmm
guys get knocked out like that. So Abdullah Mason was preventing that while he was going down. It looked bad, but you couldn't ignore the original shot that put him in that compromising situation. Abdullah hit him on the rope. Remember, Albert Bell went against the rope and he
hmm
squatted like this. Remember, Abdullah
Yep.
hit him from the side. Wow. He went forward to Abdullah. Abdullah went like this and stepped back. That's a knockdown. You can try to sell it so that the referee says, no, a slip. Most guys try to get the slip call. So they
Yep.
go in close to the guy. But the referee saw the punch. He saw the punch that put him in that compromise. And then if it was a push and it wasn't the effects of the punch, he would have been fine. When the ref looked into his face, he wouldn't have saw the effects of a punch. He would have saw the effects of a man being pushed down.
Yeah.
You would have been fine. But apparently, when he looked into his face, he went, spit out blood, looked down. He was trying to shake the punch off.
Mm-hmm.
He could no longer sell the fact I got pushed down because the effects of the punch were showing up, and the ref called the fight. That's why the ref didn't buy into the notion you got shoved down, and he didn't award him the shove. It was just another case of a guy getting hit big, trying to make it look like he was getting pushed down to avoid from being counted knocked down. And I want to
Plus,
remind
another
you
thing
guys
you need to
something.
understand, right?
Huh?
You heard Evan? Another thing people need to understand is we don't know what the referee was hearing. You feel me? Like
Right,
how Albert Bell was breathing ever since his nose
right.
got broke. You feel me? So
He's the closest man to him.
yeah,
He saw the danger. You know, Albert Bell could have been gargling inside. You know, when you hear a guy struggling to breathe and they go like, "Grr,"
that's what
you
I'm
got to be
saying. You feel
close.
me?
You got to be
Yeah,
close to him to hear that. Albert
yeah.
Bell is probably swallowing mad blood.
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting there and his nose is broken and the blood's in the inside of his mouth and he's swallowing the blood trying to breathe, which causes the gargling effect.
Yeah.
We don't know. That's why I was saying, I wish I would have got a different camera angle just to be sure on a couple things. But look, one thing I'm gonna stand on it. It's my opinion. If they would have let the fight continue, Albert Bell goes down again. More damage, more damaging your fighter. I think that
Mm-hmm.
Albert Bell was in a lot of trouble in that 12th round too early. Had he got in trouble
Yeah.
mid round, maybe the ending of the round, no, don't stop that fight. This is a title fight. You can't stop that fight. Let that fight continue. Let him go out on his shield. But
Yeah.
the alarming part for me was, bro, there was more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds on that clock.
It's a
That
lot
was
of
going to
time.
feel like an eternity. Being
A
that
lot of
hurt, your eye split open, your nose broken, you've been down twice. And he put you down fairly easy, which gives the incentive to Abdullah Mason. Now he's like Abdullah's he's on cloud nine by this point in his corner. He's believing in his power. He knows he can hurt you. He's young. He got a fucking energy boost.
and
You're
he's
in a lot
smart.
of trouble.
He's taking you to the deep waters. You feel me?
Yeah, bro. And Abdullah Mason brought a life jacket. You don't got no
Yeah.
life jacket, you gonna drown.
Yeah.
Because this is the deep end of the pool.
Yeah, I like it.
And Albert Bell needed to know how to survive with the Sharks at the deep end, meaning 11th, 12th round of the championship rounds. That's
Yeah.
where champions and legends are made. That's where the commentator himself was saying,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how tired you are in the fight. Usually in the 12th round, you get a burst of energy. And fucking Abdullah put him down because the commentator knows about that. That's the championship rounds. That's how Teofimo Lopez won his belt against Vasily Lomachenko. Why? Because in the 11th and 12th round, Teofimo Lopez stood his ground. That's what you got to do. Albert Bell did not know how to defend that version of Mason, and he paid the price for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Albert Bell, man, shout out to Cleveland. They showed up. The main event was exciting. And for the most part, the Mason family, shout out to the Mason family. You guys, collectively, the three of you guys showed up and showed out. Your brothers only got 3 fucking professional fights. So I want to stop the viewing audience that already said to me, and I seen your text messages. Oh, he doesn't look that great. Oh, he got punched, he got hit big. This one did this one did that. Bro, he has 3 professional fights. Calm down. Calm down. Let the kid fucking. What are you guys gonna put him in with Devin Haney now? You fight fans are crazy. You guys are absolutely bananas. You know, but if I had to say before I end this show right here, before I go, I gotta go eat. My food's done. Um, all facts. I want to thank you for coming up here. I want to thank everybody that was here on the show, that commented on the show. A lot of things were said at this table here tonight, and I liked everything. I liked everybody's opinion. All facts is what he shared with his boxing insight too, and this is real boxing talk. So before I go tonight, I just want to leave you guys with this, right? Um, I think that at some point, the Mason family is gonna meet up with the Keith John Davis family. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I just have a feeling that that's what's gonna happen. Remember, the belt that Abdullah Mason has is actually once was Keyshawn Davis's belt. Keyshawn Davis and his brothers moved up first. They moved up first. It's just a matter of time before the Mason brothers transition up that way. Remember,
Facts.
when Keyshawn Davis and the Davis family had their chance with their three brothers on their fight card in Norfolk, Virginia, the two brothers went the distance in what I believe were lackluster performances. Not so lackluster, but just to their ability. Wasn't really entertaining. And then the brother that controlled the main event
Mm-hmm.
lost his belt on the scale. They all got brought up on charges for what they did to Albright in the dressing room, and they got
Yep.
the next day the key to the city removed from them, and no family street name went up in their name like they were talking about.
That's
That's what the
crazy.
Davis family did. The Mason family pulled off their card. Two of the brothers scored knockouts. One of the brothers and still
Yeah.
them three, yes, and it's a thing. This is a real thing between the families. Like
Yeah.
the Masons are taking what the Davises had right there in their hand.
Yep.
Keyshawn brought them to the promised land and they fumbled the bag as a family, as a group. That's my opinion, and I believe that. And the Masons were always behind Davis. And guess what's going on today? Look who's up now.
Yep.
Masons. They are up right now in Cleveland. You guys should be proud. You guys got a real one. You got a young champion that is an official champion. It's one thing to win a world title, but it's another to
9,000
defend it.
people. That's
You
good.
have completed the ritual, the ceremony. You are an official world champion, and no one can take that away from you. So, all facts.
I
Thank you for
highlight
coming
that.
by,
Appreciate
brother. It's always pleasure. You're always welcome. And I gotta pay attention because I gotta hop on your show one day. I always like going on your
it.
show and shit too. So listen, thank you guys for tuning in, dropping your comments. Please subscribe to the channel, become a Round One Sports Talk member. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Y'all be good. Peace. That's peace. Ah, I got the sound effects taken off.